Hello everyone, I'm AT Storm Track meteorologist Austin Haskins. It was another very warm day and a sunny day on our Thursday across western Wisconsin, and it did feel slightly humid as well. But temperatures are going to peak as we head into today and into our Saturday. And again, we have that chance of seeing record-breaking temperatures. We'll talk about that. We're also still going to deal with those gusty winds, especially on Saturday and Sunday. And then we're still looking at some showers in the forecast now, Sunday afternoon and into Sunday night. Now that we are within the higher resolution data time frame, which is usually about 60 hours, we can take a look and see what that is highlighting. We'll do that here coming up. Big picture this morning, high pressure to our south and east is going to give us a southerly wind for today and over the weekend. We had a very subtle upper level feature slash weak front that came through that did allow for a couple of isolated showers and storms during the late evening and early overnight hours, mainly along the Highway 8 corridor, and then a couple of isolated showers popped up south of Black River Falls this morning. Now, we have a couple areas of low pressure to the northwest that will not be impacting our weather much, but it's the lower pressure that's farthest to the west that will be strengthening over the weekend, and that is what is going to lead to those winds increasing with that pressure gradient tightening. So winds won't be too bad today, but over the weekend, we will have southerly to southwesterly winds sustained 10 to 25 miles per hour. We could have gusts 25, 30, maybe even as high as 35 to 40 miles per hour. So if you are going to be out and about, you are going to have to contend with that. And if you are planning to travel this weekend, just know you're probably going to have some impacts with the wind, especially if you are not driving with the wind, whether you're driving into the wind or crossways from the wind east to west or west to east. That is definitely going to have an impact on travel, so just be mindful of that. But outside of that, lots of sunshine and just some clouds here and there for today and into tonight. So a quiet night ahead, but it is going to be very warm. It will be a little humid as well, as those dew points will be in the low 60s. Now tomorrow, same thing. Lots of sunshine, few clouds here and there. Dew points still in the low 60s for the most part, and those gusty winds. Now, we'll start to see those changes into Sunday. Now, the timing of this front will be a little bit key in how warm we get, but the first half of the day looks to be sunny. Clouds will increase west to east in the afternoon, and we will have a chance for a few isolated showers to develop, and that'll continue into our Sunday night, but should start to clear the area as we get into the overnight hours. Now, this latest run of Future Track is showing coverage closer to that maybe chance level, so about 40 to 50%. But for now, until I see some more consistency in the data, I'm going to keep it still at about 30% coverage. So not expecting, widespread showers and storms, at least as of yet. That could change as we get the newer data in, but it will be out of here very quickly. And by early next week, we will be drying things out. And as you'll see, still cooling things down. We're not expecting much rain out of this, though. What does fall, depending on the coverage, of course. But most areas, couple hundredths of an inch at the very most. South and east of the Chippewa River, we could see a few totals up to about a tenth to maybe 15 hundredths of an inch. But either way, what does fall and who does see rain, not expecting to see a lot. Highs across the area today, mid to upper 80s, low 80s in Medford. Could make a run for 90 down towards Durand and Alma. Looking at about 88 for Eau Claire and Menominee. Only falling back into the mid 60s tonight, maybe some upper 60s west and southwest. Highs tomorrow, once again, mid to upper 80s. A chance we could see a few spots reach that 90-degree mark. And then on Sunday, we'll be a little bit cooler, but still very warm with highs between 80 and 85 degrees. Now, believe it or not, the heat risk outlook is in that minor to moderate category for today and Saturday, and again on Sunday. Now, even though it's early October, still want to use some precautions if you're going to be outdoors, especially for an extended period of time. So again, the areas in orange, that's the moderate category. Minor category is in the yellow. And a lot of this is because, again, those temperatures will be in the upper 80s to near 90 in most cases, and those dew points in the lower 60s. Sunday, we don't have the moderate risk out just because those temperatures will come down a little bit. And of course, we are still on record watch. The record today, 89. Be close to tying it. Forecast calls for 88. The record Saturday is 86. I'm forecasting 89, which would break the record. And Sunday's record is still a little bit in question. As I mentioned, it will depend on when the front comes through. But right now, my forecast would tie the record. And as we've talked about the last couple of days, 89 is the all-time warmest temperature in the month of October in history in Eau Claire. So we have a chance today and or tomorrow to tie the record, but if we get to 90, that would set a new record in that regard. And as that would highlight Eau Claire has never hit 90 before in the month of October, but we have a chance of doing that for the first time this weekend. It's not a guarantee, but if the conditions end up becoming just perfect for that, we certainly could. And I think part of that will be if those dew points end up coming in a little bit lower than what's forecasted. If the atmosphere kind of mixes down a little bit is what it's called, and bring in some slightly drier air, that could allow those temperatures to jump up a little bit. So certainly watching out for the potential records for the weekend. Now, of course, we still got Friday Night Football tonight. Of course, we got Mondovi playing at Carson Park against Regis. We also got Baldwin and Woodville playing in Altoona, and Boyceville going over to Spring Valley. These are the highlighted games tonight that Nick will have highlights. He'll have the previews tonight at 6 and the highlights at 10. But either way, it's going to be a warm and humid night. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s to near 80 around kickoff, and then still in the mid 70s by the time we get towards the end of the game. So certainly going to be a warm one for those attending the game tonight, whether you're a spectator or you are going to be playing. Now, on Saturday, so I'll mention, too, it'll be a temperature interference just because it'll be on the warm and kind of the muggy side. But for Saturday, we have another college football game here in town as UW Stout plays UW Eau Claire at Carson Park. Game time is around 1 p.m. And not only is it going to be hot, we'll have temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, it is going to be windy too. So likely going to have some impacts there during the game. So we're going to call that more on the personal foul side only because of those strong winds. If we didn't have the wind, we'd probably be in that temperature interference category. But still, a lot going on this weekend, and it is going to be a hot one. It is going to be windy as well. However, those that are wanting some cooler weather, that is still in the forecast next week. Back into the mid 60s for the most part. Some of the data has been trending slightly warmer, so mostly going to see mid to maybe some upper 60s at times next week. And there is a chance Tuesday night into Wednesday we could see some frost. Now, I have the low right now in Eau Claire at 38, but we'll have to see how the data comes in over the next couple of days and whether or not those temperatures will come up or down. But certainly it'll be a drastic shift from what we're going to see today and over the weekend versus potentially seeing some frost by Wednesday morning next week.